The more I read and hear about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the more hyped I get. They are trying to bring back features from older games that we missed and even from the most recent games, and then bringing them into this Viking title that is still an RPG and that still builds on what made Odyssey and Origins so great. So in this video I want to discuss some very exciting new gameplay details about the Assassin playstyle. We finally know the name of our Raven and there's way more to get excited about. So a like on the video, as always, would be super appreciated. And let's go. Congrats to Felipe for winning the early May giveaway. He wanted Cyberpunk, so I will give you a code so you can pre-order the game. And there's another May giveaway going on for a 2020 game of your choice on your platform of choice. Just follow the link in the pinned comment for a chance to win. And be sure you are a subscriber of the channel before you enter. Good luck. Now let's start with one of the big things that we just learned. One-hit assassinations are namely back. Yes, like the old days, and something that wasn't guaranteed anymore in Assassin's Creed Origins. And especially in Odyssey, you could try to assassinate enemies, but if you did not have a lot of assassin damage, then killing them in one hit is almost impossible. Especially the mercenaries. Luckily you had the critical assassination ability though for more damage on a single target, but you needed adrenaline for that. And then still, without the right build, it would just give you a head start for the inevitable melee fight instead of that one-hit KO. It felt good though to get that right assassin build and just sneak up to every enemy and perform that insta-kill. And well, this will be possible in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, although it doesn't seem to be based on the current gear that we are wearing. Early in the experience, Eivor will learn a technique that with the right timing can one-shot kill virtually anybody, Ashraf said in an interview on Kotaku, and you can find a link to that article in the video description. So it seems like a skill that is linked to the story that we will get like at one point, but the right timing is also required to pull this off. So I don't think it will be as simple as holding the assassinate button, but maybe it has to do with the weak point system that was already teased before and that we actually saw briefly showcased in the cinematic trailer against that big ringleader enemy. Here we see Eivor stick the sword in the legs that are less protected than the rest of the body. Of course for the hidden blade it will be slightly different, and we actually see that too, with Eivor going for the eye because there's really no other way he could have done some serious damage with this blade. So maybe when sneaking around and assassinating sleeping enemies, it will be easier to perform these insta kills because you could just easily aim for the right weak spot and stab the blade in the eye, for example. Or maybe just like the previous games, you have this slow down time ability, so you have a chance after being spotted to still perform this insta kill takedown. I'm just speculating here of course, but it would actually be cool if stronger enemies just had more protection, so it was harder to hit their weak spot instead of them simply having more health, so your attack does less damage. I can't wait to see this in action, and it's just a great example of them listening to the community. And I remember them adding the Animus control panel for Origins, a sort of cheat mode for the PC. And here they also added a feature to make every hidden blade strike an insta kill, and this was also a direct response to everyone saying that they did not like that change that was introduced with Origins. So cool that they now actually implant it into the base game, and I'm really curious how hard it will be to pull this off. Earlier in the article from Kotaku, Ashraf notes that Eivor receives the hidden blade quite early on. We continue with the idea that Eivor is not a trained assassin. Eivor is a Viking who receives this badass weapon and has to learn very quickly. So I would not be surprised if my theory we discussed in the teaser trailer breakdown is right, that we actually get the hidden blade already in Norway. I mean, we see Eivor wear it already in the trailer when only Norway is shown, and I don't think he gets it from one of his Viking buddies. No, we already know that he gets it from the hidden ones, and those hidden ones might be Arabs. Ashraf earlier already noted on Twitter that Vikings and Arabs had connections in the 9th century, and in the Game Informer article he touches on how he was drawn to the Viking era thanks to a novel that had an Arab interact with Vikings, and that it was something he has never seen before. Florent reached out to me via the input@JorRaptor.com email address that you can use as well if you got some nice interesting finds, and he noted that there were many trade routes at the time of the game, and that actually Arabs' coins were found in Kaupang, the village and the large marketplace that we likely see in the game too. So maybe Eivor meets with these Arabic hidden ones the game takes place 300 years before AC1, but maybe there are some connections here already. And of course, I'm curious to hear your theories in the comments down below. And we of course have this screenshot, but this is likely in England because we seem to be in a church, but these could very well be hidden ones as well that Eivor is meeting. And in England, we are not wanted, so there's a reason to go incognito and kind of hide in the crowd. It's an efficient way to sneak through an area and not create unwanted noise. To do this, we are bringing back a social stealth, the ability to manually use your hood, nearby people and situations to your advantage to blend into the crowd. And this is a quote from Ubisoft in an article from US Gamer, and with them noting the hood in this sentence too, it could actually hint at it being more than just a cool cosmetic trait. Like, it's awesome to be able to toggle your headgear on and off manually in the two previous games. In Syndicate, for example, you would just wear your hood when you were like being stealthy. So it seems like Valhalla is combining this a little bit and lets you like manually wear your hood if you want, but if you do, it will make you harder to be spotted. Makes sense, but this wasn't the case in Origins and Odyssey. And by the way, Ashraf also confirmed that we will be able to see our hoods and likely other headgear in cutscenes by simply responding to Gonzo with "of course." But that is not really obvious because Odyssey did not include it. There was a glitch though with the photo mode where you could like wear hoods all of a sudden and then you were reminded by how cool this actually was. So it's awesome that Valhalla gives you the choice to wear headgear or not during cutscenes. And I really hope that Eivor's voice also changes depending on your headgear. I really like that touch in Origins, where for example if you wore like the Izu outfit, Bayek would like sound completely different.
Bayek of Siwa, protector of these people.
So yes, great news all around, but it doesn't stop there, because while in Origins outfits were cosmetic anyways, in Odyssey we of course had that whole gear system with individual gear items, and this seems to return in Valhalla. And in Odyssey, a few months after launch, we had the visual customization system, so we could still look the way we wanted while wearing the gear with the best stats, and Ubisoft now confirmed that this will also be the case in Valhalla. But it will of course work slightly different. We already knew that every gear item is unique, something that still excites me a lot by the way, and can be taken to the end of the game as well by upgrading it at the blacksmith in our settlement. But this time it seems to be different than just upgrading the level of your gear. We know there are no player levels anyways, but now it seems like there will be versions of each gear item as well. All gear is unique in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and this gear is upgradable at the blacksmith in the settlement. Upgrading the gear will also give new visuals to that gear. Players can choose to interchange the visuals of all armors and weapons that they have obtained. And this also from that US Gamer article. So it seems like every gear piece has different evolutions as well that change the look too. Kind of like the armor upgrades from Origins, but then likely for Odyssey style gear pieces. And we saw, I think, a good example of that in that Valhalla screenshot that already hinted at the evolution of our armor. But yeah, it's awesome to know that if you do not like the look of the fully upgraded armor set, then you can always change it back to the first version, and the same goes for every weapon. Really nice. We speculated about it before, but now we learned that our Raven is called Swinin, thanks to US Gamer, and I think that this is how you pronounce it. The community developer Dominic did like put a tweet up saying how we should pronounce it. So if you got another take, let me know in the comments down below. So it's not a raven from Odin. Swinin would mean show or sight, and it will likely function similar to the previous birds, although we will have new abilities this time. Another reason to be excited are the composers, because we got OG Jesper Kid back, who worked on the soundtrack for the first game and also the Ezio trilogy. Sarah Schachner, and I hope I pronounced that right, did Origins and recently other games like Anthem and Modern Warfare as well. And Einar Selvik did the music for the Viking TV show and will also be helping. And that totally seems like a great fit, of course, as well. Totally subscribe for everything Assassin's Creed Valhalla if you haven't already. I know that almost 80% of the people that are watching are not subscribed yet, and I would say totally do it, because then you will not miss anything regarding Assassin's Creed Valhalla. When there is news, I will be the first to tell you. And of course, post-launch, I will give you all the tips and tricks that you want. A like on the video would be nice. And check out my previous video, if you haven't already, on a new mission that was revealed. And just how mythology will be handled in this game. For now, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.